The Grand Banks.
Yeah, baby.
Home to brutal weather and unpredictable seas. This is where the perfect storm exploded. Over the years, thousands of lives have been lost here. Yet every fall, a few brave fishermen risk everything as they sail these deadly waters in search of giants. It's just 2 weeks into the fall season, and the fleet has already experienced broken bones and costly delays. Some are on the fish.
Watch these boys pull in that nice.
Others are just trying to catch up. Life is on the line as the search for swords continues. The coast of Newfoundland, the Seahawk and Captain Linda Greenlaw are hoping to
missed some good fishing, and we've added to our expenses.
So far, the Seahawk is equipment failure, and bad fishing has cost them time and money.
We have pretty close to 900 hooks out.
Go fishing, Mikey. We're gonna be on the fish, boys. All right.
The first beeper buoy is in the water. Once the crew sets out the 30 miles of main line, they cut the gear loose to drift. Then, like a homing device, the signal from the beeper will guide them back to the head of their line.
So far, so good.
It takes the crew over 5 hours to set their gear as they work into the night.
Hottest fishing trip I ever been on in my life. Man, I'm really.
That's what we're here for, and
50 miles to the northeast, the Eagle Eye 2 under Captain Scotty Drabinowitz is
Lost about a week officially under the gun here.
5 days ago. Scotty lost a crewman when Kenny hit the deck hard. He broke his wrist, and Scotty was forced to motor him 300 miles to New. He was replaced by fellow Newfie, Tommy Fox.
Yeah, I got a phone call 2 nights ago.
Every time we get rid of one, the next one's out.
Last night, Scotty's line drifted into colder water. Now there's nothing but blue sharks on the line, which have no commercial value.
And here comes his brother and sister and grandmother.
Right now, I don't anticipate catching really anything other than sharks.
That's bad news for the crew, but good news for Lisa Nathanson, a shark biologist hitching a ride in the name of research.
I take information, the fish condition. Thank you, Daryl. Information on what to do if you catch it in 5 different languages, and it implants into the shark like that.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to mix it up.
Scotty can find a better piece of water. He won't cover his expenses, and 150 miles off the coast of New England, the Francis Anne is getting ready to fish under Captain Chris Clem. Warren Ben and best friend Lemmy are already on deck. So far, Ben's had a shaky start to his first fishing trip.
6 stops to a bundle. I'm out here to make money.
And now it's about to get a whole lot worse for the greenhorn.
Here it is. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
As the boat rolls, Ben grabs at Lemmy and nearly pulls him overboard. Lemmy's realizing friends and fishing don't always mix.
I thought he'd be able to do it, actually. I mean, there's nothing he can do. He's out here. He's stuck 2 weeks. Gotta grind it out.
You
You never know what's going to be on the end of it there. That's why it's so exciting.
This is their fourth haul back, and with 7,000 pounds already in the hold, Chris is looking to continue his winning streak.
Come on, fish. Live tuna. Get a gaff. Back up gaff. Gaff. Gaff.
This big-eyed tuna could be a huge payday for the crew if it doesn't break free.
Pull him in the boat.
Tuna's worth 3 times more than swordfish, and this whopper could fetch over $1,000.
We don't have a big eye up there yet.
But tuna isn't the only thing they're catching.
Good fish. Heads up, heads up, heads up. Stick with the state box.
Get on the other side of me so you don't get taken out for the bill. $1.50 right there.
Everything is working.
It's the same thing, every fish. Box, hook, gaff. No time to stand around for picture taking.
Ben, to be honest, I thought I'd actually get to see you move fast out here.
Move fast on a surfboard.
Oh, on a surfboard.
And then I got out here.
Come on, Ben, there's 3 liters hanging on the rail. Dude, you can get a drink later. Man, you don't see it on the rail? Come on, man. Stand by, Ben. Don't be a hero. Just be retarded.
Dude, I think my wrist just popped out. Yo, my wrist just...
Hold on.
Yeah, it's 100.
That's swollen up, look.
Feels like it's not in the place.
Come inside.
It hurts like hell if you actually broke your wrist. I've done it.
Oh, you never take a greenhorn. Never been wet.
This greenhorn's injury jeopardizes the crew's trip, and their...
The guy's hurt. The guy's hurt.
300 miles off the coast of Newfoundland, the Seahawks saga continues. It's 5 a.m., and legendary skipper Linda Greenlaw's already having a tough day.
Still not quite sure of the ADFs. You know, one shows it one side of the bow, the other one shows it on the other side of the bow.
Deep in the notorious Grand Banks fog, she's where her gear should be. But her first beeper's malfunctioning. Its signal is too weak to track. Now, Linda must guess where the currents have dragged 40 grand worth of fishing gear.
Doing a lot better. We're close. We're close to it.
We are remote. I see it, feels right. I mean, a lot of birds around. I see a big slick fish.
The first hooks are coming up empty.
Fish on!
Yeah, nice, Lenny.
There you go. Hand over hand.
A little bit on the feisty side.
First sword's a marker.
Better off with one 100-pound fish than you are two. There you go.
After weeks of bad luck and delays, the Seahawks back in the game.
That's more like it. I love sword fishing.
Awesome, Linda.
Right, getting better.
Just a half mile off the Seahawks' port side, the big guys emerged out of the fog, close enough for catch.
Looks fishy, doesn't it?
This close together, but Chompers is well known throughout the fleet for his aggressive fishing style. Out on the Grand Banks.
We've hauled 500 hooks for one fish.
Her operator will do anything to save his season.
We got a fish coming right there.
It's a nice fish.
Holy man!
That's the kind.
Could be worth over $2 grand if they can get it on the boat.
Look what a guy they're doing. He's doing it wrong.
For this monster, Linda breaks out the winch and a 4-foot-long stainless steel hook.
Just can't hold it still.
Solid this time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, baby.
Holy man!
Hello. Hello.
believe that 7 beepers that are working on the boat all kind of suck.
I could hook you up with a couple beepers if that would help.
Yep, on it over.
We'll be up there on the north side of North.
On the Grand Banks, captains help each other out all the time.
They're going to take this one, and they're going to take this one. These two right here.
Yeah, maybe a wolf in sheep's clothing, I guess, but it'll be...
But stalking the Seahawk was a strategic move by chompers to find the fish.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
As the sun hits the horizon, the desperate captain brothers just not moving fast enough.
Woody's killing me, man. 10 minutes trying to get him to... Woody! Come on, man. Throw the buoy. Killing me here. Take you an hour to do that. Throw the buoy. Woody, you need to get the hell over there to your box. Moving like a turtle.
We're running out of time. Just a little what I'm doing. Captain's always right. Don't argue with the captain. I need a fire put under mine so I can get catching. I'm letting myself down, my boat down, my crew down.
At the eastern edge of the Grand Banks, over 300 miles from shore, the Seahawk still hauling in gear and swordfish.
Nice sortie.
Keep getting a little taste of it.
Watch the bill, okay, buddy? Got him. Yay!
Real estate.
Whoa, Linda. Nice sword.
He's a long one. There's a nice one.
In spitting distance of her gear. Longliner's fishing code gives the first boat in an area rights on that berth. Boats arriving later should respect a mile buffer around the first boat's gear.
I'm watching them haul gear.
They're really going across our line?
The big guy's buggering us.
One reason longliners give each other's gear a wide berth is to avoid running over someone's main line and severing it. When the line splits, it's called a part-off. And it's a time-killing mess to sort out.
That's what friends like Chopper are for.
Let's haul the whole mess aboard, gentlemen.
Miles of tangled line on deck is only half the problem.
You can put it forward if you want now. We're off.
Even worse, they now have to...
Really getting frustrating. You know, we need to fish. We can't just,
Looked to me like another fishing boat might have parted this haul. Yeah, I know who it was.
things like this part cost time.
There it is.
Good eyes, Tim.
How'd you see it? 10 miles up the break, Eagle Eye? Straight at it, right there.
Great, good eyes.
I'll see Jimmy Hopper before I see it.
Yes. Thank God.
Just parted us off and said, "You."
Yeah, he did, didn't he, Dave?
Less than a mile to the east, the Big Eye is finally landing some fish.
Nice one.
God bless Big Eye!
But for his boat's in the black.
The crew won't get any money right now. It's always come before the crew gets paid. As of right now, they have...
You gotta be kidding me.
Well,
The Big Eye's slow climb out of a financial pit just got a whole lot tougher.
So I gotta go tell this skipper and part it off. And
What's the next beeper we're looking for? It's 1902 and then what? And 1902.
To find their gear, they've got to find the next beeper, but each beeper has a different frequency, and no one knows which beeper they're looking for.
we had it already written down where you already lost the one that had the right order.
What good is this, man? What good is it then? If the beeper order ain't the same, I mean, what good is it? I would go to the next beeper that was wrote down on the paper, and it would be it. If that was the case, I'd be running a 1770. But that's on the boat.
The beeper list isn't worth the paper plate it's written on,
I might as well just wipe my with it because it's no good.
and the beeper they've been tracking is already on board. So
10 minutes trying to listen to something. whoever it is. I don't care who I piss off. I gotta get a trip, you know what I mean?
The missing gear.
The skipper seemed like he mellowed out a little bit now, but I'm staying away still.
1,200 miles from home, the Eagle-Eye 2's on a new piece of water, and Captain Scotty's hoping tomorrow he'll catch more than sharks.
Right now,
Could be real good for the Eagle-Eye too. I certainly hope so.
Scotty's trying to drop his hooks where the cold water of the Labrador Current meets the warm water of the Gulf Stream. The temperature break is rich with nutrients, schools of baitfish, and predators like swordfish.
Just warmed up a little bit. We're starting to get a nice little layer on the scope. Cold side of the warmer water, which we call the cold side of the edge.
The gear in the wheelhouse only shows the surface temperature, but the hooks will be at 60 feet. So Scotty checks the temperature at hook depth to be sure the bait's on the break.
Water's cooling off here now. What I was hoping for. I don't know if we're running right up the edge here, if it's just a real wide piece. Tomorrow will tell. Tomorrow will tell.
got like a piece of water.
He's found what he's looking for, but he won't know until he hauls the gear. 800 miles to the southwest, the Francis Ann's down a deckhand, and Captain Chris Clem may have to cut the trip short.
I hope we don't have to go. That'd be terrible.
Hey, come up.
I don't really think it's broken.
Hey, what did you do?
Job. Gotta run the boat. Lemmy's gonna have to work the hooks tomorrow. Do dobs. Everybody's gonna have to cut fish tomorrow. We're all gonna have to pitch in.
Tonight, it takes the crew of the Francis Ann longer than normal to set their gear. But the real question is whether Ben will be around for tomorrow's haul.
Who knows? For all we know. Carrots.
By morning, the frozen vegetables have failed to provide a miracle cure.
Benny, are you okay with being out here today?
Yeah, I'm fine. We're not going anyway.
Ben's decided to sleep it off.
All right, Benny boy, keep us posted.
If I was in Ben's position, it would take an awful lot to keep me off the deck. Like obvious bone displacement. Everything hurts. We all work in pain.
Despite being a man down, the crew's still hauling up fish. Now everyone's being pushed to their limit.
It's hard with one less pair of hands.
Watch your wrist. I'm really disappointed Ben hasn't shown his face yet.
Yeah.
Even a courtesy call. Cigarette, bring the guy a cupcake.
A donut would actually be awesome.
I see no donuts. I see no cake. Lemmy's hungry. Sounds stupid, but actually it's going smoother than with an extra guy right now.
Today, the three-man crew is managing to haul the gear on board. But as fatigue sets in, the job will get a whole lot tougher and more dangerous. 1,500 miles from their home port of Wanchese, North Carolina, the Big Eye's about to haul a line they set 12 hours earlier.
And away we go, gentlemen.
Capped in his hold is just $6,000 worth of fish. Charge.
I'm just kind of taking a break from the hauling and
Look at that. Nice little keeper. Fish on, fish on. Top of the morning, America.
good morning, darling.
The first hook comes up with a live sword and, more importantly, a glimmer of hope.
He's nice and shiny this morning.
I thought he wanted a keeper, y'all. You better keep him in the boat.
I didn't see it. I told you. I said you'll see him better when you get him on the boat.
In the morning like that, that's a good sign.
We go with our fish.
Let Weeksy all, he can do just as good a job, boost his morale. Anytime they catch a fish with me out on not on the deck.
Marker, come on.
With chompers in the wheelhouse, the Big Eye is finally catching some fish. The triple marker could be worth toward covering the expenses and paying the crew.
I told you, as soon as you start hauling, catch a marker.
Over the last 6 hours, the crew has stuffed the boat with over 3,500 pounds of fish. Finally, looks like the Big Eye has finally broken even.
I have covered my trip expenses with a little luck. The next 3 to 4 set worthwhile for us coming to the Grand Banks.
I'm gonna let you keep doing
20 miles to the south, Captain Linda Greenlaw wants to get her gear in the water before.
Because it is supposed to blow about 30. I have to go this way to cool the water off, so.
Whenever you're ready, gentlemen.
It's over.
Let her rip.
It takes the crew 3 hours to drop a third of their gear as they struggle against the building seas. Setting out in foul weather is cold, miserable, and dangerous. And one of the biggest risks is what's known as backlash. The main line's caught in the drum gears, and it's stopped unspooling. The Seahawk's now dragging the line and stretching it. At any moment, the line could snap back like a stretched rubber band, bringing razor-sharp hooks flying through the air. It's a race to clip on a beeper and cut the line free before it snaps.
Just clip it on.
Flip it on, Dave, and let it go.
I'm clipped on. Let it go. Want me to cut it?
Yes, cut it.
Cut the thing. I can't hear. What is that?
When you're setting out in bad weather, tight behind the boat, and when you go up on a sea, the line gets a little slack. You do that just right, you get it. It's dangerous.
It's the worst thing that can happen. It's slang. Came off the spool, got stuck in the barren, came tight. Super dangerous.
Pierce, and I'm glad nobody, got close to it.
It's off here. I don't know if it's broke. Don't touch nothing. Stay out of it, Dave. Trust me.
The spool's hopelessly jammed, so Archie fires up a butane torch to melt the line. The crew of the Seahawk won't be able to set out any more gear or catch any fish until they clear the drum.
So we might spend most of the night running this line out and then bringing it back in.
On the eastern edge of the Grand Banks, the Seahawk and Captain Linda Greenlaw are stuck after a backlash tangled their main line tight into the drum.
We have 3 sections.
This is
The guys have been bearing, burning it, melting it, pulling little pieces out.
After 2 hours, the crew finally frees the last of the tangle, but the weather has come up, and now it's too rough to finish their set.
They just pulled.
Yeah, I know. Tired of it.
Just another page in the Seahawks trip, I guess.
20 miles to the northeast, the Eagle Eye 2's back to the start of its 40-mile main line, and everyone's asleep except First Mate Dick.
Time to get the guys up. Scotty, it's time to get up. Feeling everything. Then I get the rest of the crew up. He didn't come out here to sleep. He came out here to work, so...
It's not going to be an easy day on the Eagle Eye 2. A nor'easter is churning up the North Atlantic and blowing 40 knots. It's got $40,000 worth of gear out there, and the crew's got no choice but to get it back on the boat. Gotti's previous set. So last night, after careful temperature measurements along the break, Scotty set into a new stretch of water.
All geared up for the cold weather.
Finally, a sign that things might turn around. With more fish hitting the deck, Scotty's search for the break is working out. The fish are exactly where he thought they'd be.
All right. Got this break.
But the North Atlantic isn't giving up its swordfish without a fight. At the end of the day, there's 4,000 pounds of swordfish on board.
This is what we like to see.
But the work's only half done. The crew must now pack the catch in sea ice to keep it fresh for the rest of the trip.
We're on our second haul back here. This will look pretty good.
800 miles to the southwest is the Francis Anne under Captain Chris Clem. The boat was on a hot streak, but now they're a man down. And Greenhorn Ben Ramos is bedridden with a sore wrist.
Ben said he's gonna sit in his bomb throughout the day. I'm sure it'll pop up soon enough. Come on, fish.
The crew's been picking up Ben's slack, but it's starting to wear on them.
It's a nice one, probably about 170, 180 pounds.
Alright, so what's Ben doing? I'm gonna have Ben take a watch while I'm outside making hooks with the guys. Hey Ben, wanna watch this while you make hooks, please?
It was nice to actually hope I get to do the next trip. Pretty optimistic about it.
I saw him slumped over and I snuck around to the front of the wheelhouse and looked in the window and he was asleep. So right now I'm not happy with Ben for just, I mean, he slept for 2 days straight, pretty much, laid in his bunk, laid down there. Right now I just think he's milking it for a little more than it's worth. He is probably the worst person I've ever.
He ain't a fisherman, that's for sure.
With Ben unable to pull his weight, Clem has to decide between fishing a man down or hitting port and searching for a new deckhand.